Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, this is a reading on Democratic Representative Henry Cuellar of Texas, South Texas. He and his wife have been charged with accepting nearly $600,000 in bribes from two foreign entities, according to an indictment in federal court in Texas. This scheme took place from 2014 through at least November 2021. Sorry, quick pause as I was getting to the article here. Prosecutors say that Henry and Imelda Cuellar crafted a 2 years long schemes to get bribes from foreign entities. An oil and gas company that's wholly owned and controlled by the government of Azerbaijan, and a bank headquartered in Mexico City. For the Azerbaijan oil company, the House member agreed to perform official acts in his capacity as a member of Congress in violation of his official duties and to act as an agent of that government. He, through a series of legislative measures relating to Azerbaijan's conflict with Armenia, he gave pro-Azerbaijan speeches on the House floor, inserted language favored to that government in legislation and committee reports, and advocated for a series of legislative measures relating to Azerbaijan's conflict with Armenia. He also promised to influence financial regulations that would benefit the Mexican bank and its affiliates by putting pressure on the executive branch on anti-money laundering enforcement practices that threatened the business interests in supporting revisions of the criminal money laundering statutes to benefit the bank. These bribe payments were through shell companies owned by the rep's wife, Imelda. They allegedly used the proceeds to pay taxes, pay down debts, and spend tens of thousands of dollars at restaurants and retail stores. And one purchase was for a $12,000 custom gown. I'm smiling because it's like he took bribes to pay down his debts and pay taxes. So even when the Democrats are allegedly corrupt, they're at least trying to pay off their debts. That's hilarious. Now sorry for the no. It is funny. It is funny. It's also sad because, again, if it's true, let's assume it's true for just a second. If it's true, this guy was in a financial pickle, and he looked like he lost his moral compass in order to get himself out of a financial pickle. It paid off his debts. It paid off his taxes. But the problem is it didn't stop there. First off, that's wrong on both accounts. You shouldn't be taking bribes. That's worse than having debts and taxes. But you could see the rationale going through it. It's like, I will take just enough to pay off my debts and taxes. And, well, we got some more money. Well, let's, gotta launder it. Let's go out to dinner a lot because that's going to be harder to trace. Oh, and here's a beautiful sequin gown to rival that of Dolly Parton's or something. Who knows? But it's just, it's like when I looked at the article, I didn't see what they spent the money on. I remember the gown, but it's like, taxes and debt? Oh, jeez. It's not like he bought a Maybach and a Porsche boat or something, or a yacht or something along those lines. He's denying the charges. The Republicans are saying if the Democrats are really believe in putting people over politics, they'll call on him to resign. Currently, Hakeem Jeffries did release a statement. A spokesperson for Hakeem Jeffries released a statement saying that the congressman is entitled to the presumption of innocence, but he will temporarily step down from his top spot on the House Appropriations Subcommittee while the investigation is going on. So, honestly, I think that if this is real, the Democrats should take stronger action. It's really a tough time for the Democrats, just like the Republicans. When the House is so close, you don't want to lose any votes, which is why the Republicans dragged their feet on George Santos for so long. And now again, we've got the same issue with the Democrats here with this Representative Cuellar. Okay, so let's look at the energy around this. And let's see what Spirit can share with us regarding this representative from Texas. Okay? Entertainment purposes only. What is the energy around the Democratic representative from South Texas Mr. Cuellar. What's his for Henry? I might refer to him as Henry because I think I'm butchering his last name. All right. Entertainment purposes. A quick pause just so I can get his name and his wife's name up here. All right. What's the energy around Henry? We won't worry about Imelda so much because we don't care about hers. We care about the government person. It's the government. Big organizations. Other governments. Other banks. United States Congress. So here's your congressman representing other big interests. Crossed with the Five of Coins. Lacking money. Got to pay those taxes. In debt. Got to pay, the big credit card agencies and such. Now, the article doesn't say why he was in such debt and why his taxes weren't being paid. Or I should say, I'm making an assumption. They said he used it to pay taxes and pay down debt. For all I know is that, just when his tax bill came up, he just used that money to supplement his taxes. Who knows? What type of debt does he have? I don't know. It could be paying off houses. Maybe he had a mortgage and he used that money to pay down the mortgage. Maybe he didn't have $100,000 in credit card debt or college expenses. Who knows? That's just what the article said. And I just, again, found it humorous. I'm going to take bribes so I can pay my taxes. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Underneath it all is the Four of Swords, keeping a low profile, keeping it on the down low. Again, this wasn't necessarily done, and I led in with this. This wasn't extravagance. Again, he didn't buy the Maybach. He didn't buy the yacht. Wasn't taking world cruises with Clarence Thomas and Harlan Crow. Paying off debts. How unsexy can you be? But it keeps, the whole thing is you don't want to draw attention to yourself on this one. But kind of, it's government position. There's a lot of debt here, and there's a contemplation of how am I going to address this problem? Okay. In the past, we had the Page of Wands. He was approached. He might have gone looking, but I think he was approached on this one. That's an assumption on my part. I could be wrong. But this is being more general and trying to take one way or out. This is messaging about an adventure or actions to take. He could have solicited, or he could have been approached on something. It would seem to me that he's on that committee. He's going to have a meeting, and discussions were asked about, things that could be done to help out. I don't know who initiated, but there were discussions that happened. I really do think he was approached. I really do. Current situation. Got the Seven of Coins. When this opportunity came up, he had to really assess, is it going to be worth it? This is that assessment of how much is the money going to help, and what are the chances I'm going to get caught doing it? It's also about your values, your morals, values, and ethics. Is it worth sacrificing your morals, values, and ethics on this? And part of what might drive this is just the general corruption in Congress. I'm not trying to throw all the Congress folks under the bus, but if anything over the last 8 years have taught us is that U.S. politicians can be quite corrupt. And there's probably I hate to phrase it this way, an acceptable amount of corruption in Congress. I am not saying that all Congress people are corrupt. I'm going to put I'm going to get a Katie Porter flag and hang it from my house. I'm sure she is not corrupt. I'm sure AOC is not corrupt. I'm less sure about AOC than Katie Porter. I would assume Senator Whitehouse is not corrupt. I'll bet you Bernie is not corrupt. He's too damn crotchety to be corrupt. That may not be fair. No, not fair that he's crotchety. Oh God! You know, the other day when I put up that video about Trump complaining that it's cold inside the courtroom, and I've got him and Putin with the thought balloons of singing "It's Cold Outside." I didn't realize there's a meme going around of Bernie Sanders. Remember during the inauguration, he's sitting in his coat with his gloves, and he's just sitting here like this, you know, trying to stay warm. They put Trump's face on it. That would have been amazing as a thumbnail. I missed it. I'm sorry. Thumbnails are a lot of fun. If I had seen that in my Google searches for thumbnails, oh, I would have grabbed that in a second. Thumbnails are half the fun of these videos, is trying to find a thumbnail that matches the reading. I am digressing, though. Let's come on back down here. So, yeah, there's that contemplation of the money, the risk of getting caught versus how the money is going to help versus what's the normal amount of corruption that's acceptable in the United States. And mind you, he's on that subcommittee, who I'm forgetting now here. Let me look down the article here. The House Appropriations Subcommittee. That is one of the top subcommittees you can be in. So, very powerful person in a very powerful subcommittee. After looking at the money situation and contemplating things, there was an agreement. So right now, everything is indicating that these federal indictments are on the up and up. He's saying that there's an explanation for it, that that nothing he did was illegal. I'll be curious how that pans out. So far, these cards are at least acknowledging that money came in from these foreign governments. Now, the hard part is, like, you know, his wife had shell companies. Okay, then what service were they providing precisely? That's going to be the key to his defense in the court cases. If he's innocent. If he's guilty, then the shell companies are just going to be there to try and muddy the waters. So there was an agreement that was made to help out, and it's going to help his finances. Lesson to be learned, Ten of Swords. Oh, the tangled web we weave. Yeah, this is going to be career. I think while they got their debts paid off on the short term, this is going to be career ending. And guess what? You got to give all that money back, which means all those debts you paid off and all those taxes you paid off. You either have to declare the money you got on your taxes, which means you've got more debts to pay off on this one, because that's income. It might be less, but I somehow think that if you've been taking money illegally in bribes, the government is of the opinion that you're going to have to pay it back. This guy is screwed 3 ways to Sunday. I forget, but I need to look up that quote because I keep messing it up. By the way, Nico has now joined me. He's down over here. There is a chance that you might get a Le Chat Noir reading out of this if he decides that he needs love and attention. The outcome is the 9 of Coins. I don't know if his wife initially was part of this scheme, but she got dragged into this scheme because the shell companies were done in her name. And that's how the money came in. And all this was to bring things in on the down low. Le Chat Noir has left the room. I have a door that's right over that way, and he's halfway in, halfway out. Yeah, things aren't looking so hot for him, let's say. The congressman, not the cat, because here comes the cat right now. He is ready to launch. Let me get you down. Here we go. Why don't you plop down and make yourself comfortable? You know, the viewers want to know. How does one become such an amazing cat? Yeah. Oh, yes, I forgot. He doesn't like it when I shuffle cards. It scares him. But I gotta shuffle the cards, Nico. It's part of the show. This is his tail. Dude, you either on or off. What are you gonna do? I think I'm gonna jump off because you're scared. I don't like that. Gotta go. Bye-bye. So much for some of my stones. The cat has disrupted the force. Yeah, you can see his tail. He gets his little sister tomorrow. Won't his apple cart be tipped over? Oh, he's sniffing. I should show you what he's sniffing here. I picked this up from Steve. I got a bag of these. It's a quartz, but it's from the Himalayas. So it's a little Himalayan quartz piece here. Oh, I should show you. Do you want to check out the crystals on my desk? Come here. This is a fabulous amethyst piece with some calcite in it. It looks like like a bulldog or a boxer with an underbite here. And then surrounding it, I've got some good God, David, it's the healer stone. Heal the healer. I'll get back to you on that one. Himalayan quartz. We've got some amethyst tumbles. An absolutely wild carnelian piece with these wonderful veinings in it. Some sodalite. Then we've got our snowflake obsidian. A very cool piece of rutilated quartz. Some pink amethyst. And prehnite. Haha! I knew if I went long enough. Then I've got my grounding stone. I've got a lovely polished obsidian piece and a hematite tower. Also, from the side, one of my favorite pieces I've got is this giant amethyst point. And I love this part right here, this clear, I don't know if you can really see it. It's clear and it's got like a little bit of a chloride or something like that in it. Absolutely love this super chonker of a piece. And then on the other end of it, I can do this without screwing up the light. I've got this great orb, but it's got an amethyst back. So when you shine light through it, it's purple. Let me put up my phone over here. You can see how the purple shines through on this thing. And I've got a little light stand that it sits on that I put it on over here. Okay. And it gives it an absolutely great glow. Now, amethyst is supposed to be will help you with your intuition. Oh, lastly, I've got a little bowl with some sand in it, and occasionally I burn some Palo Santo sticks. So that's all the crystal love that you got on my table right now. And then you've got the whole cabinet there of crystals. Again, there's a couple light stands over there, and I've got a pink amethyst flame and a pink amethyst freeform. The freeform is that more pink one here, and then the flame is this one right there. This picture is of downtown Mendocino. It's a photograph on metal. One day, I will take you over to the cabinet and film it. The hard part is in this room, the lighting isn't fantastic. It's east facing, and the room, generally speaking, is dark. All right, huge segue, but welcome to my world. I've got all sorts of fun stuff in this room. Okay. And the screen over here hides my computer desk that I work on. That's the only reason why the screen is up, is so that you don't see my desk with a monitor and a bunch of papers scattered about. All right. How much trouble does this guy and his wife think that they're in? Let's get back to the reading here. Okay, how much trouble do they think they're in? Ace of Swords. I think he's gonna fight it. Like his thing is that he says he can explain it. Well, okay, good luck. Good luck. The Empress. Is this an explanation or a justification? Empress is about taking care of things, taking care of business. He's again, and he said in the article that everything can be explained and that these charges are incorrect. It's like incorrect assumptions. I think he's going to try and explain that his wife's company provided services, which is why it's not an ethical violation here. Two of Wands. Yeah, he's going to try and sell it that his wife's businesses provide a legitimate service, and that these charges are not just. That's how he's going to approach this issue. Look at that. In the past, we got the Nine of Pentacles. This is... I don't think it's because they wanted fabulous trappings. It's because maybe, maybe these are the type of folks that spend more money than they have. Um, and so, again, the article said about paying their taxes and paying off debts. Well, it could be that they weren't paying taxes and instead were spending that money on other things. And then when the tax bill comes, they've got a lot in taxes, but that's because they spent their money on going out. They spent their money on clothes and other items, and they just weren't paying their taxes in the process. Uh, but yeah, this is about their lifestyle and maybe a desire for some nicer things. I'm not sure where the money went, but there's money issues and lifestyle type issues in the past. And this could also be how, again, the wife set up the shell companies. And I think, again, that's going to be the argument that the wife's shell companies provided some value. Here's the money coming into the shell companies. And now we're at a crossroads here. Two of Swords. What's the choices going to be? The overarching energy is the celebration. It could be the celebration, or it could be just, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we may die. That they partied a lot and then the bill came due, or things are on the up and up and they're going to be able to explain it away. Almost, it's kind of funny. I only think of this occasionally. These three women are holding their cup up in the air, like if it was raining. I should pull this down a little bit so you can see it. It's almost like if it was raining, their cups are filling as the money comes in. I think, again, he's going to make the argument. Let me move this box back a little bit. They're going to make the argument that the wife's company was the one collecting the money. It was separate than his legislation rulings and such. And when it rains, you should be collecting the rainwater. When the sun shines, make hay type of thing. That it was just a windfall because of his wife's companies that provided a service. Lesson to be learned is the Knight of Pentacles. In order for this to work, he's going to have to show how the money came in and the services that were being provided. And I think he feels like they have the ability to do that. The outcome is the World card. If this is going to be a problem, though, because if you're representing a foreign bank in a foreign country, you have to register as a foreign agent. And he didn't do that. So he's going to run across, I think it's FISA is the registry when you're acting as a foreign agent, which is the thing that got Michael Flynn into trouble and other folks like that. So, but the World card is also bringing things full circle into a conclusion. If I was going to link that to the first reading, I would say that, yeah, you started off in debt and you're going to end up in debt. Maybe his defense works. Little Four Carter, how is this going to play out given the energies right now? Will he? Did he? Why did I say did he illegally take the money? What do we really want to know? Do we want to know if he illegally took the money? Because he could legally take the money but still win his court case, right? So we're more concerned, will he lose his position because of this? I think that's kind of the way to look at it. He could be innocent and resign. Al Franken. He could be innocent and stay in there and fight it. He could be guilty and resign. He could be guilty and stay there and fight it. So what are we actually concerned about? We're concerned about him leaving because there's only a 1-vote majority for the Republicans right now. So all hands on deck. Will he make it through this term? Ace of Wands. Big push. There's the Empress taking care of things. The Two of Coins flipping, the decrease in values, juggling, a reduction in things. This certainly would be him stepping down from his committee positions while things are coming on here. And then there's agreements. And that agreement came out of the overarching energy as we looked into this. And the King of Cups. Let's put this as a Hakeem Jeffries potential here. Is it going to be Hakeem Jeffries? I always think of Biden with this one, but it's going to be. There's going to be a big action taken by a mature man, a man with or man or woman with emotionally that should be emotionally in control here. Or it could be immature emotions here. It's a decrease. It's a decline in values regarding agreements and taking care of things. I think this to me says that he is going to stay in, but you potentially have primaries. You've got elections coming up, and the voters in the district get to make up their mind if they're going to keep him or not. And it could be that he gets reelected, but then there's an agreement that he steps down. Oh, here's something I hadn't thought. There might be a plea deal that's done. Take some action for a plea deal. Plead to lesser charges. An agreement between the governments on this taking care of. The government might take a plea deal because they may not fully be able to prove their case, and this is just the wise thing to do. Honestly, to me, it seems like there's going to be a plea deal that's going to be done. Will that impact his House seat? Let's see. If there's a plea deal done, will he leave Congress? Because it could be that if there's a plea deal done, let's look at if there's a plea deal done. I'll do a challenge reading on this one. We'll look at him being censured versus him being forced to leave Congress. Okay. Censure versus, because you don't have to always get kicked out. You could just be censured for it. Okay, let's find out if there's a plea deal. How will this work out? Challenge. What's going to be the challenge for the plea deals on this? It's the money, the amount of money that he was taking in, and probably like how the money was being spent. What's underneath it? The going away card. In some ways, it's also about legacy and doing the right thing. Like if the Democrats do well in the elections, they may be able to say, "Get out of here, go on." Or if nobody's making a big deal out of it, you just want to calm the waters down. But it's about legacy and values, and even the amount of money taken. So for a censorship, what does that look like? Queen of Cups. Keeping control of your emotions, keeping a lid on things. That maybe this isn't that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, and a censure would work. The justice card. Again, if you took a plea deal, justice has been served. There's, it would be like, the Democrats, again, trying to hold on to a position here. The money was spent to pay off debts, so, that could play a part of it. It's at least an easier pill to swallow. And, in the end of the day, things might work out better. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I was just in a financial bind. I've made a plea deal with the government. I'm going to, suffer whatever fines I suffer and have to pay the money back, type of thing. And you put it to rest. That's why you would do a plea deal, and then things calm down again. Versus being removed, it's judgment. Again, it's about the Democrats making a decision about legacy and such. The ethics committee might look at it. The plea deal with the government. The Nine of Cups, the smug merchant, hopes, wishes, dreams fulfilled. This could be that there's more to the story than what's been reported here. That would cause them to do that. Or if the Democrats have a safe enough majority, then they can afford to be rid of this problem here. It's quick messaging, overseas, international things too going on. Maybe there's more that's going on to this, but there's going to be it would be part of a plan involving this. If they do make a judgment, it's going to come quickly, and it would be in the best interest of the party, and helps the party moving forward because they can get on their high horse and say how they held a member to account for their actions. And it literally, you know what I really think this hinges on is two things. The Democratic majority, this is going to be a slow rolling thing. I don't think that he's going to resign right away. This would be either he gets voted out or the Democrats find this. Democrats may kick the can on this one for about 7 months or so till they find out and what public outrage is looking like. Honestly, I think other than folks in South Texas or Republicans in Texas, most people are going to forget about this because it's some random person that keeps a low profile in this, like the southern tip of this of the continuous United States. Yeah, so in the end of the day, the Democrats will make the choice as to, if they censure him, are people going to care? Or if they've got, if it's too close, they're going to censure him. If they have a big majority, they can afford to give him the boot and take the moral high ground, as it were. Sadly, it's politics, and that's just how politics work. The Democrats, generally speaking, I think, hold their members more accountable than the Republicans because the Republicans want to rule and they are willing to change the rules in order to rule. Whereas the Democrats have a bit more of an idealism, shall we say. But at the same time, when it's this close, they don't want to give it to the Republicans because right now your democracy is at stake. And that's kind of the problem that we're facing here. It's gray zones. It's moral gray zones. I do hope Sheldon Whitehouse and folks are able to get legislation passed to start holding government members accountable because we don't want corruption in any of the political parties in charge. Now, that might be a pipe dream, but there's, if you can get the money out of politics, it would go a long way to get people in there that are actually interested in policy versus posturing in social media clicks and things like that. All right, we'll leave it here. This is way too long a reading on this topic. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for your likes, shares, comments, everything you do to help keep the YouTube algorithm fed so our video makes it out to a wider audience. To folks discovering this channel recently or for the first time, welcome to the channel. I'm glad you found us. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.